Hi everyone, welcome to this session wherein we are going to explore yet another important reaction mechanism in carbonyl compounds chapter of organic chemistry. That is nothing but Cannizzaro-Roche reaction. Cannizzaro-Roche reaction is a reaction given by aldehydes without alpha hydrogen. It's a contrary to aldol condensation. Aldol condensation is a reaction where aldehydes or ketones having alpha hydrogen undergo condensation in the presence of dilute alkali. But in Cannizzaro-Roche reaction, we are going to see aldehydes without alpha hydrogen undergoing disproportionation in the presence of concentrated alkali, that too in hot condition. So there are three basic differences between aldol condensation and Cannizzaro-Roche reaction. What are they? Number one, in aldol condensation we are using dilute alkali, whereas in Cannizzaro-Roche reaction we are using concentrated alkali. In aldol condensation, the substrate, namely aldehyde or ketone, must have alpha hydrogen, whereas in Cannizzaro-Roche reaction, the aldehyde molecule taken should not have alpha hydrogen. And not only that, in aldol condensation, we are not heating, whereas in Cannizzaro-Roche reaction, heating is must. Now let us write down the Cannizzaro-Roche reaction by taking formaldehyde as an example. We all know pretty well formaldehyde is an aldehyde without alpha hydrogen. Therefore, it undergoes Cannizzaro-Roche reaction. Let us write Cannizzaro-Roche reaction using formaldehyde on the board now. This is the reaction of formaldehyde with concentrated NaOH, which is going to give sodium formate and methyl alcohol. So here in Cannizzaro reaction, one molecule of formaldehyde is undergoing oxidation to give formic acid initially, which will react with sodium hydroxide present in excess in the medium and form sodium formate, and the other molecule of formaldehyde is being converted to methyl alcohol. Because one molecule is oxidized and the other molecule is reduced, this particular reaction is also called as redox reaction. So Cannizzaro reaction is a redox reaction, especially when Cannizzaro reaction takes place for single molecule like formaldehyde or benzaldehyde, etc. Then it should be called as a disproportionation reaction, because the same molecule is undergoing oxidation as well as reduction. Hence it is also an example for disproportionation reaction. Now, what are the other molecules that give Cannizzaro-Roche reaction? For Cannizzaro-Roche reaction, we must not have an alpha hydrogen for the aldehyde. So benzaldehyde can give Cannizzaro-Roche reaction. Trimethyl acetaldehyde also can give Cannizzaro-Roche reaction, etc. Now if I ask you a question that whether this chloral, trichloroacetaldehyde gives Cannizzaro reaction or not, then what is your answer? Generally you will be thinking that it gives Cannizzaro reaction, but that is wrong. It will not give Cannizzaro reaction, because this trichloroacetaldehyde, though it is not having alpha hydrogen, on heating with sodium hydroxide, it forms chloroform CHCl3, because the CC bond present here is very weak due to three strong electron withdrawing groups, namely chlorine atoms in this case. Hence the CCl3 minus ion will be cleaved automatically when OH minus ion attacks this carbonyl carbon. My next question to you is whether this particular molecule, namely glyaxol, undergoes Cannizzaro reaction or not. If I ask you, then majority of you may say it undergoes Cannizzaro reaction. Some of you may even say that it does not undergo Cannizzaro reaction. But my answer to this is it undergoes a new type of Cannizzaro reaction called as intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction, which we are going to see in short time from now. So it undergoes a new type of Cannizzaro reaction called intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. Now let us look at different types of Cannizzaro reaction. We have two main types of Cannizzaro reaction. One is crossed Cannizzaro reaction. The other one is intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. Intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. Crossed Cannizzaro reaction is very important for IIT or JEE examinations. Very important. Now let us look at crossed Cannizzaro reaction. Crossed Cannizzaro reaction is a Cannizzaro reaction between two different molecules without alpha hydrogen. Let us suppose our formaldehyde is reacting with benzaldehyde in crossed Cannizzaro reaction in the presence of concentrated alkali. Then what is the product obtained? Concentrated NaOH and heating. Now what is the product obtained? The product will be sodium formate HCOONA and benzyl alcohol CH2OH. How did I write this? Why can't it be the other way? Why can't it be sodium benzoate and methyl alcohol? This can undergo oxidation, this can undergo reduction, but why I didn't write that way? Because it's very important. If you understand the mechanism, formaldehyde is more reactive than benzaldehyde, hence the nucleophile that you have supplied, namely OH minus ion, readily attacks formaldehyde first but not benzaldehyde. Therefore, it is the formaldehyde that undergoes oxidation to give sodium formate but not benzaldehyde to give sodium benzoate. So always this will be reduced, and this will be oxidized. Very important. So some people will be saying the small moiety gets oxidized, the bigger moiety gets reduced, but that is not actually correct. Scientifically we should say that formaldehyde is more reactive. That is the reason why nucleophile initially attacks formaldehyde, giving you an oxidized product, whereas this is less reactive, giving you a reduced product. Let us look at one more important crossed Cannizzaro reaction, that is between trimethyl acetaldehyde and formaldehyde. Among these two, now which undergoes reduction and which undergoes oxidation in Cannizzaro reaction? What is your prediction? Definitely this is undergoing oxidation to give you sodium formate, and this is undergoing reduction to give you an alcoholic product. Why? As I told you, this particular carbonyl group is having C double bond O and H. As I told you, the aldehyde group which is having C double bond O and H like this, when it is attached with electron donating groups, its reactivity decreases, whereas when it is connected to electron withdrawing groups, then the reactivity of the aldehyde increases. So H is neither considered to be donating nor considered to be withdrawing, hence formaldehyde is more reactive. But on the contrary, we have in trimethyl acetaldehyde we have CCH3, namely a tertiary butyl group, and we all know very well this tertiary butyl group is an electron donating group by inductive effect, hence it is decreasing the positive charge present on this particular carbon, hence a nucleophile, namely OH minus, cannot attack this site that easily. So that is the reason why, though among formaldehyde and trimethyl acetaldehyde, only formaldehyde is undergoing oxidation and the other one is undergoing reduction. Now what do you mean by reduction? Reduction is after all addition of two hydrogens. One hydrogen will be added here, the other hydrogen will be added here. Therefore the product obtained in this case is C, OH, H and then H, therefore H2. That's it. Now let us look at Cannizzaro reaction intramolecular. Now I am taking Glyaxol is an example here. This Glyaxol on treatment with concentrated NaOH followed by heating will undergo Cannizzaro reaction known as Cannizzaro reaction intramolecular. Now one group, namely one aldehyde group here, will be oxidized to give you a sodium salt. The other aldehyde group present here will undergo reduction. I told you reduction is nothing but addition of two hydrogens. As a result, it becomes CH2OH. That's it. This is the final product obtained. If you look at another example of intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction, I am taking here a CHO and a phenyl ring here, and a double bond O. So I have an aldehyde group here, a keto group here, and it is undergoing an intramolecular Kenijarov reaction in presence of concentrated NaOH on heating. Now this part, aldehydes are more reactive compared to ketones, therefore this part undergoes oxidation because nucleophile is going to attack this site first but not this site. Hence this undergoes oxidation, this undergoes reduction. Therefore what is the product obtained? This becomes the carboxylic acid salt, namely COONA, single bond, CHOH because it is undergoing reduction, and your benzene moiety as it is. So this is the product obtained. That's it. So one can easily write the final product without even knowing the mechanism in crossed Kenijarov reaction as well as Kenijarov's reaction intramolecular. Let's go to the board to discuss the mechanism of this important Kenijarov's reaction. The concentrated alkali, namely sodium hydroxide in this case, initially dissociates to give Na plus ion and OH minus ion. This OH minus ion will be serving as a nucleophile. We all know pretty well that aldehyde molecules will undergo nucleophilic addition reactions. Why they undergo nucleophilic addition reaction? Because in aldehyde group we have partial negatively charged oxygen and partial positively charged carbon. So the nucleophile, which is in search of positive charge, comes and attacks at this carbon. So as a result, what is the product obtained? Whenever the nucleophile is attacking the carbon, this carbon is going to get the fifth bond. Hence, the pi electrons will be polarized completely onto oxygen, forming the oxoanion intermediate. Now let us write down the oxoanion intermediate formed here. O minus, OH, H. This is the intermediate formed in step 1. The oxoanion intermediate formed here now will have two chances. Either this can directly attack a new molecule of formaldehyde, that is the second molecule of formaldehyde, like this, but this is not going to take place because this is going to be an unstable product. Hence, when this particular electrons come back as a back bonding, there are two possibilities. Either this hydrogen can be eliminated in the form of a hydride like this, or there is one more possibility of removing the OH minus ion. If OH minus ion is removed, we are going to get back the same formaldehyde which is the reactant taken. Hence, if that is the case, there is no further forward reaction at all. That is the reason why we are taking concentrated alkali. Why you are taking concentrated alkali? Because if OH minus ions are excess present, then according to Le Chatelet principle, the equilibrium will be always driven towards the forward direction. Hence, as a result, this particular OH minus removal is not going to occur, but the hydride shift which is shown here, that is going to occur. This hydride is going to attack a fresh molecule of formaldehyde. That is the key step here, or rate determining step. This is also called as rate determining step. It's the slowest step actually. Slowest step. That is nothing but intermolecular hydride shift. Now as a result, what happens? Now this becomes HC double bond OH, that is formic acid, and this becomes, because the hydride is attacking here, this becomes O minus, that is methoxide ion. So this methoxide ion is going to take a proton from the formic acid form. Because methoxide is a strong base, it abstracts a proton more readily from formic acid to form the so-called methanol CH3OH plus formate ion. This formate ion will interact with Na plus ion present initially in the medium to form the salt, namely sodium formate. So sodium formate and methanol are the products obtained. It's a methyl alcohol. So this is the mechanism, very easy. The mechanism includes few steps. In step 1, there is a nucleophilic attack of OH minus on formaldehyde. In step 2, there is a intermolecular hydride shift, and in step 3 we have a transfer of proton transfer. That is step 3. That's it.